Comment your favorite part of the story. Comment the craziest part you thought was crazy. Subscribe. Click the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. So do it right now. Hi guys, welcome back to JoJo TV. So today we're gonna do a story time. This one is real good, so grab some popcorn and let's get started. I'm gonna be talking about the time I had crazy roommates. And yes, I said roommates, plural, with an S, because it wasn't just one. There were two. Everybody else's story was just like, I could beat that. I actually can beat that. Oh, before we start this video, I do want to say there are some trigger warnings. We'll be covering suicidal thoughts. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So my freshman year, I went into UCLA college thinking like, yeah, I want a random roommate. I want to meet somebody new. I don't want to room with somebody I already know. You know, like, I don't mind living with somebody. I'm easy to live with. I know I'll get along with whoever. So it doesn't matter who I room with, right? That's what I was thinking in my head. No. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you're easy to live with. You just don't know everybody. So let's just call her Rebecca. When she moved in with her parents and I moved in with my parents, setting up all of our things, she seemed so sweet and nice and everything. Ooh, it started to come down to a turn. Let me tell you guys about Rebecca. I really don't know where to start. So when we started off being roommates, it was cool. Like, she didn't talk as much. She was never in the room. So I typically had this huge handicap room to myself. One day I started wondering, like, why is Rebecca never here? Like, something's wrong. And then when she started to come, it would be very awkward because she wore the same thing. I kid you not. Rebecca wore, I can tell you, from head to toe. Normally she wears her hair down, not combed out. It's about probably like this length. She wears a long sleeve t-shirt that has red and blue stripes on it. Red and navy blue stripes on it. Then she wears like navy blue scrub pants with some, I think the shoes are called Aces, some white Aces. If she wants to like dress up, she'll wear the same shirt, the same pants, and then the Aces, she'll wear Aces, but they're like fuzzy Aces, but the same color. I kid you not, she wore that every single day. It was weird at first, but you know, I wasn't knocking her style. I just like, that is kind of odd. So I think one day I asked her like, you're never here or something. I don't know how we brought up the conversation, but she started telling me about her personal issues at home. For the sake of her, I'm gonna like not tell her whole story, but she just was telling me about her dad, how he's very controlling, and how she actually doesn't take classes at UCLA. She takes her classes at the hospital. And so then I was like, huh? I mean, I obviously didn't make that face in front of her, but I was like, you take your classes at the hospital? Like, what kind of person takes their classes at the hospital? And I'm like, okay. And then she moves on to tell me that not only does she take her classes at the hospital, but she only takes one class on campus, which is an art class, a painting class. And I was like, oh, okay, so she's an artist. Like, and I love art. So I was like, I used to paint a long time ago too. Like, and so she showed me her art, whatever. She was really cool. So like, she really started to share information with me. She went deeper into about like how her dad is potentially abusive and how her mom is just very passive. Okay, so the first time she got admitted to the hospital, she was telling me why she was at the hospital. Because I think I asked her, I was like, why do you have to take your classes at the hospital? She said it was because of her father. And before she told me why, she explained the situation with her father. She was like, one day, I think her dad was like being really aggressive. It was a long story, but he was just doing what he does. And I think he told Rebecca, like, do something to like pick this up or something after he had just been like really mean to her mom. And then she was just like, no. And then I forgot where she said she worked. Oh, I think they were like in Glendale. She literally said Glendale or something. So she was like, they were in like a big old mall in Glendale. And then she was like, she was mad at him. And so she walked out the mall and like she just was walking around the mall to get like some air. And her dad literally called the police on his own daughter. That's basically what she told me. And she made like an emphasis on that part. She was like, yeah.
Like, what's going to happen to me in Glendale? Not like anybody's going to shoot me in the middle of Glendale walking around the mall.
She was just like,
who's going to shoot a white girl in Glendale?
it was just funny because I didn't really know that she had humor. So then I was like, okay, she's not that weird. Like, her dad is actually crazy. And then so I guess when she got back with her dad, I don't know what happened, but she just said like she got really upset and she had an episode. And when they admitted her to the hospital, she had an episode. So I don't know, right? From that, it doesn't seem like she's that crazy. It just sounds like her dad's actually crazy. That's what I thought. Until the patterns that I started to see, that it was just like she would come in and go straight to sleep, not even change her clothes. And I was so used to her, like her routine, because I'm so used to when she comes in. She's never there, so when she is there, I pay close attention. I pay close attention to everything anyways. So she always comes in with her same outfit. She puts her bag down
right by her drawers. Then she'll go in the shower, wash with her charcoal mask, brush her teeth, whatever. Yeah, she'll pull her hair up sometimes when she goes to sleep.
Right? I literally pay attention to everything. She'll take all the pillows off her bed. And then she sleeps in a big white t-shirt. Every time. Well, there was a couple times she started coming in, she was just going to sleep. Coming in, going to sleep. She wouldn't like open up her computer, maybe look on her phone. She wouldn't do anything. She was just going to sleep. And it wasn't like she was mad at me. It was just like, I don't know what was going on. She just was like moping. I really started to get curious about like why she was like literally she would wake up at like 6 a.m. and be gone until like 5 p.m. and her classes will be in the hospital. To me, it doesn't like all register. I'm not understanding how someone is in the hospital taking classes that long. So I know you guys are gonna be like, I shouldn't have done this and all these things, but if you were in my shoes and like I said, you guys may think I'm wrong for this, but I wanted to know who I was living with and I didn't understand. I always saw her go to her desk and take pills, and she did have a lot of pills. And like I'm talking about like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she always had like 6 or 7 pills in one compartment for each day. So I went to her drawer and I pulled it out and I was like, this isn't my business. I shouldn't be doing this. And I said, I'm not going to be nosy. I'm not going to judge her. Everybody can have anything, but I want to know what is going on. So I did read the pills. I'm not going to disclose a lot of what she was taking, but I'm just going to say a lot of them were like sleeping pills. A lot of them were depression pills. A lot of them were like for like bipolar issues and other stuff. And so I was like, okay. I mean, she's taking the pills for it. Obviously, she's fine because she's taking the proper medical protocol. It wasn't until one day she came back. Well, there was a couple of days she started acting like really weird, and I don't even remember what. I just know that she was acting really weird. But the one distinct day that I remember is this day right here, and this is the crazy roommate story that just can't be beat. So she comes in, she goes straight to the bathroom. I'm like, okay. She's in the bathroom for hours. Hours go by. And it starts to be so long. At first I'm joking, and this is when Snapchat was really popping. I was Snapchatting my sister and my friends, and I'm like, y'all, she's in the bathroom for a really long time. And everybody's like, bro, like, what is she doing in there? Like, you need to knock on the door and tell her to get out. And then my sister's like, yeah, she's in the bathroom way too long. You know, I've read all this crazy roommate stuff. You might have a crazy roommate. You need to make sure you know what she's doing in there. All this stuff. And I'm like, at first I was thinking like my sister, but then when my friend Shelly was laughing at me, I was like, okay, maybe it's not that big of a deal. But then when my sister like confirmed my thoughts, I was like, okay, yeah, like I need her to get out the bathroom. Oh yeah, I totally missed this. This was the sign right here. She comes out soaking wet and the shower's on. And I'm like, well, maybe, yeah, maybe she really is on her period and, you know, she really figured it out. She comes out, she does grab a pad actually, and then she goes back in. Right? She closes the door. She's in there for like another 2 hours. I'm like, oh my God, she's like Bloody Mary in there. Then, wait a minute. She comes back out after the like 2 hours of being in there. I don't even think you guys understand. Like, it was, what's the time span of this? This is like from 3 to 5 to like 6:45 to 7. We're at 7 o'clock right now. Or no, it's like 8, like literally 8, about to be 8. She comes back out and she grabs something and she's soaking wet. And I'm like, what was she doing in there? Like, what are you doing in there for that long? She grabs something out of it. It looks like a metal. I'm thinking it's a wrench. And I'm like, oh, my dumb self. I was like, oh, duh, she broke the shower head and she's trying to fix it. Duh, like, you know, the school showers are kind of ranky. And, you know, she probably was trying to fix it, right? She's in there for a long time. Now I'm just like, all right, if she comes back out again, I'm literally going in there and I'm closing the door just because I don't want her in the bathroom anymore. She comes back out again, so I go in there and I close the door and I don't want her in the bathroom. And I'm looking around and I'm like, wait, I'm fast. I'm going too fast. When she came out, I'm like, what? She looks different. Like, I couldn't even tell what she looked different. I was like, she looks different. She looks a little, like, crazy, too. Her face was red. Her face was red to begin with. Like, I'm like, what was she doing? What was going on in there? And she's never, like, red coming out the shower. Like, yes, she's white, but she's never been, like, rose red coming out the shower. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, she looked a little mad. So then I literally rushed into the bathroom, closed the door, and I locked it. locked it. So she comes and she knocks, and I'm like, hold on, I'm in here. And I'm looking around. I'm just looking around. I didn't have to do nothing. I'm looking around, looking at everything. The shower didn't even look broke. Like, it didn't really look like she even took a shower. Like, I don't know how to explain that. It just didn't look like she took a shower. Oh, yeah, there was also, like, no soap was used. I'm just really observant, y'all. I'm not a creep, I promise. But this night was so weird. And the atmosphere, the energy was off. And then I look in the trash can, and I see a bloody tampon. Right? And her hair. In the trash can. I see a bloody tampon, and I'm like, literally gagging. And then I see her hair. And that just blew my mind. I'm like, she just cut her hair off. She just cut her hair off. And the thing is, it's not abnormal for someone to cut their hair off, but most of the time, like, you tell people, like, I'm about to cut my hair, like, you know? Or you just, like, you say something, like, or you talk about it, like, should I cut my hair? Do you think that just something, or you just be like, I just cut my hair. Like, don't be freaked out. You know, like, something. And it wasn't like she was bald. She just cut it, like, literally she just cut it any kind of way. I don't know what she did, but she was like, snip, 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 and it just cut it. So I'm just, like, breathing hard, breathing hard, breathing hard. So I come out the room, and it's raining outside, and the AC's blasting. And my window is open. She never opens my side of the room window. She always opens her side of the room window, which I don't mind. Just don't open my side because I also don't want to get sick. But I really had a problem with the windows being open this time around because it was raining outside. So I'm like, you have the AC blasting and the windows are open and it's raining outside. And it's literally the middle of winter. I was like, yeah, no. So I got the AC is like right by my bed. So I literally leaned over and I turned it off. She gets up out of her bed and she turns it back on. And she's not really like the aggressive type or like, you know, she just like lets things go. And she's never in the room, so she normally just doesn't even touch anything other than her window all the time. And I'm like, what is the deal? So I turn the AC back off. She gets up, turns the AC back on. Then she goes, and this, I swear this is the voice she said in, and she tilts her head, talks like this and everything. It was the creepiest thing ever. She goes, Jordan, can you leave the AC on, please? And it was so creepy how she said it. I can't even explain to you or describe to you how creepy it was. Like, I can't even make out how creepy this was. Like, it almost was like on a scary movie. And I was just like, I literally got so nervous. I like almost crapped my pants. I was like, oh yeah. It took me no time to think of that answer. I was like, yeah. I'm so glad that I checked those pills because that same night, before I even started packing my bags, she had her pills out in like a circle. And it was almost like she was playing Russian roulette with her circles. And Russian roulette with her pills. And she was like choosing which pill she was going to take. But I know that she's supposed to take all those pills because... And then she doesn't take one. She takes that one pill 5 times. So that one pill was the sleeping pill. She took that 5 times. And I was like, oh, okay. That's why I started to get so antsy and I'm packing my stuff. That is really why. Now I'm freaking out. Now I'm just freaking out. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is really weird. And she's like, then now she's just sitting up in the bed after she said that. And she's staring at me like this. And I start moving around, right? I'm thinking like, maybe she's dazing off. She's done dazing off before. But no, she's like staring at me like this. And I'm moving and she's just like, she's staring at me, but her head's tilted the whole time, so she's just like, and I'm moving, right? I'm like, so I text my friend, and I'm like, Shelby, my roommate's acting crazy, can I spend the night at your place? Right? And she just goes, ha 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 ha. I'm like, what? What? I'm being serious right now. And she was just laughing. So I'm like, okay, so obviously, like, she thinks this is a joke right now. I gotta text somebody else. So I text my other friend. And I'm like, bro, okay, look. I have a situation. My roommate, and he knows about my roommate, like, already. Like, he knows, like, how weird she is. Like, he just knows her because we've talked about it before. And I've always thought like she was just a little bit off. Like I've always think she was nice, but she just was off. I'm texting him. I'm like, bro, this is going on. Da, da, da. He's like, I'm coming up there like right now. Like pack your stuff. And I'm like, no, don't knock on the door. Like whatever you do, don't knock on the door because I don't want her to act weird or anything. So I just slowly get up off my bed. I make it up. I start packing up my stuff. And she goes, Jordan? I'm like, yes, Rebecca. And she was like, where are you going? And she's talking in that little scary voice. And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go study with a friend. Look, I'm even getting nervous talking about it. I'm scraping my legs. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go study with a friend. I might spend the night there or whatever, but if I shouldn't. I probably was gonna come back. I'm kind of stuttering too because I'm nervous because like she doesn't talk that weird ever. She goes, are you lying to me? I'm like, yo, what did I just get myself into? And at this point, I'm praying. I'm praying while I'm packing up my stuff. And I was like, no, I told you I was going to go study. That's what I really am going to do. Like, my friend's really about to come get me. And I text my friend. I'm like, bro, she said this. I'm going fast. I'm texting fast. So I finish packing my clothes. Then I go to, like, our little hallway is the bathroom. It's one big old room. So it's not like it's separate rooms. The bathroom door is closed, right? But our bathroom door has a mirror on it. And so, like, say, for instance, you guys are the bathroom door, right? You're the mirror. Her bed is, like, right here. When I'm looking in the bathroom door, I see her. And so now she's on her computer. And on her computer, she's looked up how to kill herself. Literally looked it up. I can't make this up. And it sounds like it's fake and it's not. And this isn't funny. This is serious. So I'm being serious right now, and I was scared, and didn't know what to do. I panicked, and I'm thinking like, why is she looking that up? And she clicked on one of the videos. I don't even know, and I don't even think it showed you how to kill yourself, because obviously like that's not something that the internet or the YouTube was like gonna show you. She was on YouTube or something. I don't even remember what she was on. She clicks on one of the videos though, and I'm staring in the mirror, acting like I'm doing my hair or something, and the video is like showing all these people of like the day, like when they were alive and when they were dead. And there was the day I'm stuttering. I know exactly what happened. But I'm stuttering because it's so scary imagining it. Like, so it was showing the image of when she was alive and when she was dead. And then there was another image of a guy. And then there's just images of all these people when they were alive and then when they died and how they died. And then some people even have the picture of like them committing suicide, like hanging themselves with their faces blurred out and like their scene that they were in. And I'm literally about to cry now because I'm like, oh my God, I need to hurry up. So then I go to get my shoes, and my shoes are in boxes and they're stacked all the way up in the top of the closet. So I'm trying to grab this one pair of Uggs and it's at the top. So I'm pulling the box and all the boxes fall down on me. And she was like, you're lying. I can tell you're lying. I know you're lying. You're not going to come back. And now she's going crazy. So I'm telling my friend. And he hears the boxes fall. He's like, bro, no. Knocks on the door. And I'm like, oh, fuck, no. Why did you knock on the door? And I'm just like, oh, time to go. I just grabbed whatever else I could. And I left, right? So then we walk to his apartment. And like I'm sitting there in the on the bed, and I'm just like, I can't even like think straight, right? And he's like, you can sleep in my bed if you want, whatever. And like at the time, it's not that like, you know, I wasn't trying to thank him for not being generous. It just I couldn't think about anything else but her. And as I left the room, I had more time to reflect on what was really happening. So I sat there on his couch the whole time, not really saying much. I just sat there and he's like, are you good? You good? You need anything? You need water? Whatever. And I didn't want anything. So as I'm sitting there, he's asking me if I'm good. And I told him, I'm like, I can't believe that I'm sitting here right now because it's like, I was so scared of her. And the only problem with me, that was, it didn't sit right with me is because like, I was scared of her being scared of herself. She was in a moment where she was very low. And I didn't even ask her if she was okay. I was so focused about me and trying to figure out my things. not to say that what she was doing wasn't weird or wasn't scary for me, but it's just like I didn't think about her. I only thought that it was weird and I had to go, and that she's just so crazy. But what if she actually did follow through with committing suicide, or she really did do something to herself to harm herself when I left, and I didn't even ask her a simple thing as, are you okay? I didn't even ask that. That ate me alive. I'm sitting there, literally a daylight comes up, and I still haven't went to sleep. It's 6 a.m. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm leaving. I had all my bags packed and everything. All my bags, I got them, and I Ubered back to the school. When I Ubered back to the school, I kind of hesitated. I was nervous to go back to the room. It's 6 a.m. I go into one of the dining halls, and I sit there and eat breakfast. I go to another one. Now lunch comes. It's about to be 2 o'clock, and I'm sitting there eating that, and I have my bag still too. And I'm like, okay, it's 2 o'clock. I need to go. Like, it's like either you're gonna go and check on her or you're not. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm in the front of our door, and I said, I need to think this through, because if she really is ill, the way she's been telling me and all these therapists and all these things that she has, if that's really real, then she needs like real help. So I go to what we have is called RA, this is residence assistant. And I tell her, like, I was like, hey, like, you know, like I had an issue with my roommate last night. And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, I'm busy right now. And I was like, no, you're going to listen to this. And I tell her everything that's been happening.
And I'm like, yeah, she's cutting her hair. She just, like, was looking at this video, and it just seemed really startling.
And I was just explaining to her everything. She needs serious help, though, because she had explained to me before that her dad's friend was her therapist. And every time she told her therapist something, he went back and told the dad. And that created like a super negative environment for her. Like, it's like she never had outlets, so she used me as an outlet, and she would tell me things. And that's kind of why I kind of had sympathy for her, and I didn't think that she was crazy, because she would share so much, you know? It's like you kind of put yourself in her shoes and you're able to relate with her, so you just exclude her having actual issues, mental issues. I was just explaining to her, like, you know, so like if you guys are going to have somebody come, it needs to be somebody real. It needs to be somebody of credentials. It needs to be somebody that has a doctor's degree in this field. I'm like, she's playing Russian roulette with her pills. So I also did tell that to her, the RA too. So she's like, oh my God, oh no, okay, whatever. Now she's trying to figure out a plan. She's calling like all these people. And she goes, okay, this is what we're going to do, Jordan. We're going to have the UC police come, and you're going to wake up and say, hey, the RA said to tell you that they're going to have a wellness inspection, right? So I was like, okay, that sounds like a plan. So I go into the room. She was knocked out. It's 2 in the afternoon. The lights are off. No light is on. The blinds are closed. It's freezing in there. Freezing. The windows are open. It rained that night. It's literally cold. And I turn on the lights, and I'm like, the fear kind of leaves me at the moment, because I'm like actually scared that something happened to her, and I feel very responsible because I literally just left. And I was just, I'm saying her name. And I was just like, Rebecca, wake up. And then she's like, huh? And she like, so I knew she was up. I didn't even see her face. It just looked so like pale and gray. And I was like, already told me to tell you we're having a wellness inspection, so like the police are gonna stop by. She said, okay. She goes back to sleep. They knock on the door. I look in the peephole, and I see this African-American lady and my RA. So I come out, and I'm just like, wait a minute. She's not the sheriff. She's not the police. I close the door behind me, and I'm like, what is going on? Where's the police? You told me to tell her the police. I told her the police. Who is she? She was like, well, she's a trained, she didn't even say what she was. She was just like a trained person to deal with these kind of problems for res life, basically, which is for students that are having crisis in the dorms. I said, I don't know what's going on, but all I know is that this is serious. So whatever you're doing, this needs to be serious. I told them, like, Rebecca's dad has a therapist for her already. So I don't know what games you guys are playing, but you told me to tell her that she's a doctor. I mean, the police were coming, and you are not the police. And then so we're having this conversation, and she was like, okay, well, just calm down. Is it okay that we tell Rebecca that you told us the information that you told us? And I said, no, I don't want that information disclosed, because she trusted me, and I don't want her to feel like I betrayed her. And I'm only just trying to make sure she's okay. I told her no, right? Right. She said, but she's like, but she's gonna wonder, like, how we know this information. I said, I don't care. If you're like an actual therapist, you don't disclose personal client information. You don't do that. She comes in the room. I'm already mad because it's not the police. And she goes, they're like, hi, Rebecca. So Jordan told us that your dad da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Immediately, she sits up and she just drops her head and she's looking at me like this the whole time. And then I leave the room and she's just like, and tears are running down her eyes. And like her eyes are shock red. And like I walk out the room and I'm so frustrated. I felt like I betrayed her. I felt that. And she just like crying. Tears are running down her eyes. And I felt like I almost made it harder for her at that moment. Like I made whatever it was 10 times worse. I know that she needed the real help. I don't think that they were even the real help. But I knew she was mad at me, and I was like terrified to come back in. So that whole night, next night, I didn't go in the room. I actually stayed at, I think it was my friend Shelby's room. I stayed in her room. I didn't really go to sleep. Then I think like around the next morning I had class. I went back to my room. She was up. It was really awkward. And she was just mad still, staring at me the same way. And I didn't say anything to her. And so now I planned, I had moved. So I stayed with her for 2 quarters, and now we have 1 more quarter left, and I moved to another room. That was the end of Rebecca. I didn't see her again. She was really mad at me the last time she saw me. I think the last time we even had an interaction was she texted me, which is so weird. She never texted me the whole time we lived together. She texted me, she goes, "You nasty, dirty little girl, you." I'm like, what? And at this time, I remember this so clearly. I was at Urban Outfitters with my friends, Dario, Trinity, and Shelby. She texts me, she goes, "You dirty little girl, you left this room so dirty. It's because of you. We have all these bugs and flies and gnats, and I can't get them out," and all this stuff. And when I tell you my mom came behind me and cleaned that room up like I was moving in the place, she cleaned it up like I was moving in the place. So I know, and this was months after I'd already moved out, or like, no, I'm saying months. This was a month after I'd already moved out. Like, come on. If I left it dirty, you would have let me know the day after. You're not going to let me know a month later. So what, my mess was building up while I was not there? I'm like, what? Come on, girl. So I called my mom. I'm like, "Mom, guess what? This girl called me saying the room was dirty. Da-da." She said, "You know what? You better text her back. You got the wrong one." I was like, oh, I'm not going to say that. And I started to analyze it. And I'm like, you know what? In her life, she doesn't have power. She feels like she's regaining her power by texting me this text. So I literally just blocked her. I didn't say anything. And that was that. I saw her one time on campus and she just stared at me as I walked past. But that was it. Do it right now.